What's up, guys? It's Mr. Dean here. I just want to do a little tidbit before the video starts. I realized the video trailer within the video is going to be pretty choppy. So if you like, just watch the trailer from the link below in the description. Yeah, sorry about that. I guess my laptop crapped out while I was watching the trailer at 1080p, and it kind of screwed up everything. But as far as the analysis goes, it's still pretty good. I pause the videos when I do the analysis and everything. But anyway, just enjoy the video. Thank you guys for watching. What's up, YouTube? It's your boy, Mr. Dean, and we're going to have a in-depth look at the trailer for Streets of Rage 4. Yes, the sequel we've all waited 24 years for is finally here, and it looks pretty amazing. I was going to upload my live reaction, but due to audio issues on a live stream and reactions not really being my thing, I decided a analysis and breakdown trailer would probably be a better idea. I'm also in between shifts, so this should hold you guys over until the first podcast. Now, as you may know, Streets of Rage has had a lot of spotlight from Sega prior to this announcement with the soundtracks, the vinyls, the figures, the spot on Sega Shop, as well as other things. So, I mean, really, it came as less of a surprise to see this finally coming into fruition. But regardless, this couldn't be any more exciting. Let's watch. Alright, so Dotemu is actually a company that pretty much, for the most part, they have worked to bring back a lot of classics like Windjammers, Wonder Boy, among other things. I believe they're working on Windjammers 2 as well. I'm not entirely sure. But yeah, these guys are pretty good at, a lot of retro stuff. So it's good to have them on the team. And of course, we all know who Sega is, I hope you know who Sega is. Of course, we got the beautiful Wood Oak City in all of its glory. Now, this trailer actually kind of reminds me of that 3D Streets of Rage trailer that popped up, where, you'll see in a second, but everything was on fire, and but this is obviously a little bit more stylistic and looks better. Okay, so Lizard Cube are the guys who did the new Wonder Boy remake. These guys are pretty good when it comes down to HD hand-drawn graphics. They are going to be the ones doing the graphics for this game. Now, people saying that this game looks like a Flash game, I really just kind of have to wonder how much they really know about animation. Because looking at this like frame by frame, this is not just your standard Flash animation, mobile game stuff. Like, this is hand-drawn, and it's actually very smooth in 60 frames per second in 1080p. So yeah, I'm not really understanding where people are coming from when they say things like that. I mean, it looks like that at first glance. Maybe if you look at the screenshots, I actually saw screenshots first, so I didn't think that it looked like a mobile game, but it did have that kind of feel just from the screenshots alone. But seeing the stuff in the motion has just changed everything, especially in this trailer. Of course, we got the high top sneakers. We all know who's wearing these. Yeah, but also notice that the jeans at the very bottom have like a rips at the bottom. So he's been wearing these jeans for a while, guys. Guard Crush. Guard Crush Games are the guys who created Streets of Fury. Now, if I remember correctly, that's the only beat 'em up that they've worked on, and I've played it. I've actually played it on stream once. I actually want to go back and play it again. It is actually a pretty decent game. Maybe the graphics aren't your thing if you're not really into that, Mortal Kombat, that early 90s I can't think of the name of the style, but you guys know the style. Even if you're not a fan of that particular style, the gameplay itself is pretty solid. But you're gonna see later in this trailer with the gameplay some things that I'm expecting to see in the game from having played Streets of Fury. I almost said Streets of Rage Fury. Sorry. But yeah, we'll get into that in a second. Of course, we have Axel here. Let's go back a little bit. Yeah, Axel here, classic gloves, the classic red gloves, yellow trim. He's bearded up, pretty long, scruffy hair, with the headband and everything. But now he has a jean, looks like a jean jacket type of overshirt. But yeah, he's looking pretty rough. Just looking at the design, you know what? Actually, I'll let the trailer play a little bit more so you can see more of the design. Okay, so pausing. Oh wow, skipped over a little bit. Yeah, I would not want to be sitting right here, about to receive this punch, man. Let's see. Let's go back just a little bit. Okay, so as we also see, he has a shirt around his waist as well. It's a little strange to me to see him having the shirt around the waist, as if like he would have worn this over the overshirt or something. I'm not sure why he would have the shirt with him, honestly. Though that actually makes me really wonder about his story. Because, okay, so as we see here, like I said, he's bearded up. He's got the long, scruffy look. Like he just hasn't really cared to do any shaving or anything in a while. But going into detail, we see he's wearing like under the overshirt and under the shirt around his waist. This is essentially the Streets of Rage 3 or Bare Knuckle 3, if you want to be specific. The Bare Knuckle 3 look under that, and it makes me wonder, like, has Axel pretty much like just gone off the deep end since Streets of Rage 3? And if that's the case, how long of a gap is there between Streets of Rage 3 and this game? And what is going on with Axel? Like, has he gone off the deep end? Like, since Mr. X is gone, like, has it just been nothing for him to do? Like, did he just never go back to being a cop? Which I believe in 3, if I remember correctly, they actually did. They were reinstated as cops. So maybe something happened, or maybe he just likes the rough, rugged look. I don't know. But that's just my guess. Like I said, the shirt around the waist doesn't really make much sense when he has an overshirt. So my assumption is if he has gone over the deep end and somehow, I know everybody's making a hobo joke, but I'm actually serious here. Maybe he's gone off the deep end and he has ended up homeless and he's just been on the streets. Similar to how Cody ended up in jail from beating up all these guys and being a ruthless vigilante. Maybe this is the same situation with Axel, except he's not in jail. He's just out and about on the streets and never left the streets. And that's why he has the shirt around his waist, because these are the only clothes that he has. That could be the case, or like I said, this just could be his new style. Also, liking the new Chuck Norris look, honestly. Like, seriously, this is Chuck Norris right here. Okay, so I'm gonna pause it there again because man, let's go back. Oh wow, yeah, let's talk about how Garcia is getting the crap beat out of him right now. This guy whiffed that punch. I said this when I reacted to the trailer. Yeah, there we go. You see, this is this is when you messed up. You swung at Axel and you missed. You missed the knockout punch. You're done for. But I want to go back to here. Alright, so now we see Big Ben from Streets of Rage 2 is here. And he's going to be in this game. Now, I mentioned it on stream, but it seems like they're taking the same route as many other attempts before, where they're only for the most part, bringing returning enemies, and they're kind of going from a Streets of Rage 1 format. You'll see later on in the trailer, but so far the only exclusive enemies that I've seen are Big Ben and the Muay Thai fighters, as you'll see later in the trailer. I haven't seen Donovan, no Jack, none of these other characters, and we definitely have not seen anything from Streets of Rage 3. So, yeah, it seems like they're going that route. They actually have, oops, I went to the end of the trailer. Let's go back here, sorry. Yeah, sorry. So, as I was saying, they have Nora instead of Elektra this time around. So, it's actually pretty, I'm actually happy to see Nora come back. That was something that kind of bothered me about 3, is that they took Elektra, and if you guys aren't really paying attention and you're not really a sprite artist or anything, you probably hadn't noticed, but Elektra in Streets of Rage 2 actually has a bionic arm. The whip is part of her arm. It's not just a standard whip. But in 3, they got rid of that, and she's just holding a regular whip, and somehow she's still electrocuting you, which to me makes a lot less sense. In a sense, I would think that it probably would have been better to have brought Nora back into 3 if you're going to try to do a standard whip lady kind of thing. But anyway, let's just get back to it. Of course, we got the introduction of Axel Stone. This is another thing that makes me wonder, though, because, look at the tears in his overshirt as well. And then, the looks in his eyes, and, this guy's got crow's feet, so we know some time is definitely passed. In the original Streets of Rage trilogy, these guys were, 25, 26 years old at the max, at the maximum. We don't actually have a direct time of when 3 happened, but we know that 1 and 2 happened a year apart from each other, and in Streets of Rage 1, Axel was 22, Adam was 23, Blaze was 21. So, assuming that the games take place in the same type of gap that they were released, I would assume that 3 took place 2 years after 2, meaning that Axel was 25 in Streets of Rage 3. So this could be, for all we know, he could be in his 40s. Little tidbit here. Axel Stone and Kiryu, Kazuma Kiryu from Yakuza, are actually the same age. So anybody worrying about Axel being old, come on. we already have an old dude going around beating the crap out of people in Yakuza. So, age isn't really much of a thing in these Sega franchises. But yeah, another thing is the look in his eyes. Maybe, like I said, maybe I'm just looking too deep into it or whatever. But reading, I have a thing of reading people in their faces and stuff. Just the look on his eyes looks like this is finally his moment to get back into action. It looks like he just had it rough. There's no smile on his face. Streets of Rage 1 and 2, in his portraits and stuff like that, he's had a bit of a smile on his face, from Streets of Rage 3 in the cutscenes. If you've seen the translated version of Bare Knuckle 3, he's hot-headed, he's hot-blooded, he's always this really, upbeat, hot-blooded type of person. So to see him like really just stoic and looking on and frowning and everything, that it shows me that some stuff has pretty much gone down. Like I said, maybe I'm looking too deep into it, but that's what I'm seeing. Oh wait, nope. See, they drop a lot of that stuff right before. That's a good shot right there. Yeah. So like I said, Nora is back, and first thing we see is her getting the crap beat out of her. Man. Oh, okay. So, and also her hair is blue, man. That's actually that's crazy. That's crazy. She was originally a redhead, from what I recall, just looking at the Bare Knuckle 1 box art and stuff. But yeah, it's the blue hair. I actually like it better. It's offsetting. You know, it doesn't blend in with the rest of her look. So I actually like the blue hair better, and it actually makes her look a little, you know, makes her look a little bit more sexy in my opinion. Um, so let's see. Yeah, and Axel turns over. You know, all this stuff happens so fast. So looking at this stuff frame by frame is it's funny to see Axel turning and stuff. I should probably get like a screen cap of this. I'm gonna get some screen caps of these, man. Once I get like a raw trailer or download the trailer or something like that. But yeah, get into the Blitz introduction. Yes, Blaze Fielding is looking great. Time has been great to her. If this is like years into the future, time has been really good to Blaze. From what we can see here, I'm just gonna go back so you guys can see it in color. Also, this animation is really really good. Please for the oh man, I just thought about this too. I just thought about this right now breaking down this trailer. I hope they do a mini series with this animation just like they did with Sonic Mania Adventures. I will go nuts if they do that. I will go absolutely nuts if that happens. Sorry, I had to throw that in there. I'm trying to get a good shot of her assets. But as you can see here, she has like the black jacket. It seems like it's the black jacket from Streets of Rage 3 or Bare Knuckle 3 concept art. She's got the classic red tube top from 2. I'm trying to get a good screenshot here, man. It's kind of hard to get a good screenshot here. There we go. That's a good one. Okay, so yeah, she has the underneath the jacket. She has pretty much her Streets of Rage 2 and 3 look. A mixture of both, really. The tube top from Streets of Rage 2, the gloves from Streets of Rage 3, the skirt, from all games. The hoops are from Streets of Rage 3, if I remember correctly. And of course, like I said, she has a biker jacket. Now, the biker jacket is probably not from Streets of Rage 3 or anything previous, but it's obviously a callback to that artwork. And from what I'm looking at, it's kind of a mixture. It kind of has the folded cuffs like the Streets of Rage 1 jacket, but then it's also black and leather like the Streets of Rage 3 jacket. Really cool design. It's actually funny, like it plays it safe, but it plays it perfectly safe. Like it's a good, very good design. It's not held back by not trying to do anything new or anything. It's exactly what it needs to be. Okay, see now we're getting into gameplay, and I have to stop it right there. Now, first off, of course, we see the multi guys. As I said before, him and Big Ben are only 2 Streets of Rage 2 characters. We got Signal and Garcia as well. They're from Streets of Rage 1, but they're using the Streets of Rage 2 look. So this is very similar to how Bare Knuckle Mobile used the Streets of Rage 2 sprites for Signal and Garcia, which, in that game, they also use Electra sprites for Nora, which is, I thought maybe they probably should have just actually used Nora in that game. But we've seen this pretty often. This has happened pretty often. This has happened in Sega Heroes as well. In Sega Heroes, we have the original trio, Axel, Blaze, and Adam, and they're in their original Streets of Rage 1 look, but here they are fighting Streets of Rage 2, Garcia, and Signal instead of the Streets of Rage 1 look. Now, as I said before, I'm actually a little bit worried because there is no Donovan here. And to me, I feel like Donovan has secured his spot as, being part of the trio of goons to have here. And the important thing here is that, and actually I'm going to get into the aerial combat in a second, Donnie is the anti-air guy. So, unless this Muay Thai guy is going to be a more common enemy, which, I I kind of have to wonder about that because I mean everybody knows about these guys. Everybody knows why them being a common enemy may be a problem. So I mean, but he has an anti-air. But yeah, typically Donovan is the anti-air guy. He's the guy you don't want to jump at. So not seeing him here is it's a little worrisome. But I just assume that he's just later going to be put in later down the line. I doubt that they're just going to have these 5 enemies. It wouldn't make any sense. Now going back, let's have a look here. Now when it transitions, in fact, I'm going to slow it down here. Let's slow it down to speed. Oh, let's mute that. Okay, so as you see here, she's actually, now people have actually thought that this was a neutral kick. She's actually moving forward. Now you'll also notice she didn't knock him down. And by the way, looking at this frame by frame, this is some beautiful animation. She didn't knock him down with that kick. So not only is she using her 360 kick from Streets of Rage 1 as her forward kick, so basically like Streets of Rage 1, the kick doesn't knock down either. Now, if you know anything about Streets of Fury, I almost said Streets of Rage Fury again, sorry. If you know anything about Streets of Fury, it's kind of the same thing in that game as well. It sets you up to do combos. Like it plays a bit like a fighting game in a sense. It has the plane changing like Guardian Heroes. Now, actually, I didn't think about that either. I didn't see in this trailer them moving up and down the Z-axis, so I'm kind of wondering if there's going to be this thing where they have plane changing just like in Guardian Heroes. Because like I said, that's what Streets of Fury is like. I'm hoping that's not the case, to be honest with you. I wouldn't want to see that for Streets of Rage 4. But if it does happen, that does mean that the combo system is going to be more refined and very much like a fighting game. So it's a double-edged sword. It's not something that I would want to see, but I could see it working out fine if they do it properly. But yeah, as you guys can see here, the forward kick didn't knock him down, so that opens him up for more combos. I'm not sure how I feel about it. I feel like the forward kick probably should knock down, or maybe they'll have it where the neutral kick knocks down. But that's actually another thing that I'm actually worried about too. With her doing this kick as her forward kick, what is her neutral kick going to be? Do they have jump in attacks? This is the jump in attack because it doesn't knock down. So what is it that they're going to try to do here? Is it just going to be one jump attack, which pretty much works as a jump in attack and a jump kick at the same time? That would pretty much, that would actually pretty much lower it down to just one jump attack. And that's I don't know. I don't know what to make of that, to be honest with you. I mean, it was like that in Streets of Rage 1, but I actually liked the fact that we had multiple options for our jump kicks and stuff. Let's see. Alright, so we're going to go... Alright, well, we'll do this in slow motion as well. So... Oh, wow. Okay. It transitioned. So she's basically about to do her Streets of Rage 2 combo. So we see that she has her Streets of Rage 2 combo, her Streets of Rage 1 jump kick. And by the way, this background is also pretty good looking. I'm assuming that they are in Chinatown of this city, which is pretty cool. But let's go back to regular speed and unmute it so you guys can see the other part of the trailer. See, now that part flashed by pretty quickly. And of course, we're going to go right back into the gameplay again because they just did something there that I'm going to talk about in a second. Yeah, this part flashed by pretty quickly, so I'm just going to go in slow motion here for that one as well. Now we see Axel here doing his Dragon Fury. Big Ben, yeah, Big Ben is back. These guys are fighting in some sort of office. Now that is I like that. I like that they're doing new stages here. We're not looking at some old rehashed stages or whatever. Like I said, I wouldn't mind them revisiting stages, but I'm glad they just came out swinging. Like these are new stages. We got Chinatown. We're fighting in some kind of office here. Having a look at Garcia though, man. I like Garcia's design here. Instead of the knee pads, he actually has patches on his jeans instead, which is pretty cool. It's a nice little callback to Streets of Rage 1, but with a new twist on it. He has a black undershirt, ripped over shirt. He actually has a hoodie. I think we all know where that came from. Of course, he has his hair is a little bit different as well. He's actually looking pretty spiffy with the hair, man. That's crazy. Like you think, look at the rest of them. It's like you got time to comb your hair, but everything else is just a disaster here. His shoes look like they're about to fall off of him and stuff. But yeah, like I said, Axel here is doing his Dragon's Fury. And now, you guys may not know this, but if you played the Streets of Rage 2 Game Gear port, they actually added flames to his fist in that when he does his move. Now, he doesn't have it in the Streets of Rage, the original Streets of Rage 2, but he does have it in the Game Gear, and I think in the Master System port as well. I'm not entirely sure. I gotta go back and play that one again. So that one's a nice callback. I don't know if that was intended or if they just added it simply because he has combustions on everything else that he does. It just makes sense. But either way, it's a nice callback. Okay, so yeah, then we flash over to the next screen. Looks like he originally punched Big Ben. Big Ben's over here dabbing. I guess he has to represent whatever he's representing. He has to dab. So it looks like we're now in either the slums or this is one of our first remade stages. This is actually looking like Streets of Rage 1's Entertainment District, because I'm seeing the neon sign over here. We got the telephone booth from Streets of Rage 1. Of course, we got Nora here, Signal, and Garcia, which is the original trio for that particular stage. And then, of course, Big Ben is a new thing here. So I'm guessing Big Ben is going to be more of a normal enemy like he was in Streets of Rage 3. Now, that's the thing that I'm kind of iffy about. If they bring in a lot more enemies, cool. But I would hate for them to have introduced all the enemies. Not saying that all the enemies here are being introduced, but I would hate for them to have introduced all the enemies in the earlier stages of the game, and we don't really get a progression like we did in Streets of Rage 2, where there was new enemies practically every stage, where we're getting something new. So hopefully that's not the case. Maybe this just means that there is a lot more enemy variants. Yeah, and of course, like I said, we got Nora here, blue hair. Her looks pretty much the standard Nora look. I personally think they should have added the shoulder pads from the Bare Knuckle 1 box art. Those are pretty badass, but I can imagine maybe it would be a pain to try to animate with that kind of stuff. So I'm not surprised it's not there, honestly. Also, another thing that I noticed is that Axel is actually doing his straight punch from Streets of Rage 1 as opposed to the jab from Streets of Rage 2. So, again, another nice callback. See, he does it again. Nicely animated. Now, everybody's saying that this is, Axel's beard gut. Actually, I kind of think it's just the shirt swaying. That's what I think it is. Axel looked pretty fit earlier in the trailer. I don't think he has a beard gut, guys. Either that, or it's just one of those things. It's not like we haven't seen this before. Streets of Rage 3 has him, when he's running, this guy's like jacked, like he's fucking, sorry, excuse my language. He's running like he's jacked like he's Arnold Schwarzenegger when he's running, in his running animations, but when you see his stance animation, it's not as buff looking. So yeah, his combo is a mixture of 1 and 2 basically. You got the straightforward punch from 1 for the first 2 jabs, the forward punch from 2, and I'm gonna assume that it ends with the double kick. Now, we all know, anybody who's seen Project Neo knows that I did pretty much that. So it's actually cool to see here. Now this is where I'm getting into a new thing, gameplay. Let's get into it. Juggles. Now if you didn't notice there, Axel hit both Garcia and Big Ben twice with his Dragon Wing. In fact, Blaze actually hit Nora twice with her backflip. I can't say the name properly. My throat is just screwed right now. There's no way I'm going to say the actual name, but her special, she actually hit Nora twice. But if you look at Axel here, he actually hit them twice with his Dragon Wing. First time it knocked them upwards. The second time it knocked them back. So there's going to be some sort of juggles in this game similar to Streets of Fury. I'm hoping it's more akin to Fighting Rage, where you really have to be good to do the juggles and stuff like that, and it's still a bit of a grounded game, but more grounded here. No aerial specials or anything like that. Also, that's another thing I totally missed the 5 million times that I watched this trailer when it first came out. The apple on the floor here. It was just a small little detail that I missed. Oh yeah, and also Blaze's boots look very similar to her Street Race 2 boots, but a little bit higher cut. I didn't even go into Signal. So yeah, we can see a little bit his insignia on his jacket a little bit clearer. Honestly, I wasn't expecting them to get the actual thing from the manual, but the insignia in the manual was actually a skull with wings. So I'd imagine maybe animating that would probably be a pain in the ass as well. So, like I said, they're just keeping it simple, But like I said, Signal's got his Street Rage 2 look going on. But he also has his pants cuffed like one of the cancel concepts. So these guys have been actually paying attention to a lot of stuff when it comes down to Streets of Rage, the canceled things, certain fan projects and stuff like that. Like you can tell they've been really, really paying attention to a lot of this stuff and all the little details that I'm seeing in this trailer. Okay, so we're gonna speed it back up. Okay, so let's let that play out for a second. I'll let it finish. Of course, Streets of Rage 4. Now, let's go back. Let's go back. Now, new enemy here. We know this is an enemy. This is not a playable character. If it was a playable character, she'd be out front at the end here, alongside Axel and Blaze. So we know this is an enemy. I mean, come on. You look at her, you can see, she has the qualities of an enemy. The attire and everything. So, yeah, new enemy here. I'm not sure if this is the end boss or this just a new mid boss character, maybe a boss character, because they're definitely hyping her up. That's for sure. I mean, they wouldn't do something like this unless they were trying to hype her up. So, we'll go in slow motion so you guys can have a look at that as well. Nope. Mute that. Okay, so yeah, as you guys can see, huge python around her neck and everything. So This is definitely a modern enemy. Like, we know we're in modern times looking at this character. There's a lot to her. I mean, but then she still has a bit of a retro aesthetic to her as well. Pretty cool stuff. Hoop earrings, red hair, red shaved sides, red green eyes. Okay, so now nobody's. I haven't seen anybody take a screenshot of this. So this is her look, man. This is the front look, man. Overcoat, big ass python, man. Again, excuse my language. Sorry, this design is so damn cool. All right, so you have the jeans and high heels like this. Man, it has a retro look to it, but it looks like something that a lot of people will wear now around this time. Red hair, blonde stripe in the hair and everything. Really cool looking character. Now you'll notice something here. I said that this may actually be the new Elektra. Not Elektra herself, but the new Elektra. A new whip lady. And people were wondering why I said that. Well, if you notice, have a look here. The python is electrified. Like there's a lot of electricity flowing off this python. This isn't a normal python, guys. This is some crazy stuff here. Yeah, so you see the electricity coming off of it. But yeah, new enemy. I'm thinking that's the end boss. I really am. Like they're hyping her up a lot. Zumi said some dumb stuff, man. They're talking about that's Skate's mom. Now I can't get that out of my head. That's just driving me nuts now. And then of course at the end here we got Axel running up, getting ready to do his grand upper. So we know that's going to be in the game. We know grand upper is going to be in the game. We haven't seen the gameplay, but we've seen it here in the animation. Now I don't know if you guys noticed, but this right here, this whole thing right here is a lot like the Street Fighter 2 Turbo intro. We got our Akuma here. We got our Akuma here, sitting right here. This is another reason why I think this is the end boss, because it looks like a total callback to Street Fighter Turbo. And then you got Axel running up and doing his trademark grand upper, turn to white. Just like when Ryo threw the Hadoken. Now I like this. This explains why his fists combust, because he is literally dragging his knuckles, and that probably hurts like hell. Don't do it at home. Dragging his knuckles off the floor and uppercutting from there. Then we got the nice burning 4, Streets of Rage 4. Now this is a nice shot. The logo shines. Of course, copyright Sega, all rights reserved. 2018.emu, all rights reserved. Developed by Lizard Cube and Guard Crush Games and .emu. Now we got some burning money around here. Of course, cool stuff. Nice little city background, Blaze and Axel in this thing. Now it looks like there's room for more characters. That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking there's going to be more characters put on this little. I'm going to guess that this is actually going to be the title screen. Maybe this trailer, not the gameplay portion of the trailer, but I'm guessing the rest of the animation might actually be part of the intro. So, yeah, we may be looking at the part of the intro right now. Speed it back up for you guys. Now, with that being said, we have no release date. We don't have a confirmed platform yet. So, this is all we have is the trailer. But yeah, it's a really nice trailer. I just wanted to do a little bit of a breakdown and, just kind of give you guys a little bit of a rundown of what's going on here. Like I said before, from what I'm seeing of the gameplay, there's going to be juggles, there's going to be extended combos, and like I said before, the enemies are moving up and down the Z-axis, so that puts me in the mind that, it isn't going to be like Guardian Heroes where you have to shift planes to move up and down the Z-axis. I would assume that wouldn't be the case. If the enemies are moving up the Z-axis, that wouldn't pan out too well for you to have to use plane shifting. So, I'd probably have to just take that one back and just say that, there is going to be movement on the Z-axis. But from what we're looking at from the gameplay so far, there's going to be juggles, there's going to be extended combos. Jump kicks don't knock down, apparently. But they may be adding other attacks that knock down more often. In fact, they may be encouraging you to not jump as much. Maybe that could be a thing as well. Knowing that your jump kicks don't knock down, maybe they're encouraging you to not really use your jump kicks unless you're really planning to extend your combo and stuff like that. That's just what I'm getting off of what we've seen so far. Like I said, Axel's Dragon Wing and Blaze's special as well both do at least 2 hits to the same enemy, so we know that there's some kind of juggles there. But as I said before, it's looking good. It's actually looking really good. Look at this trailer frame by frame like this. The animation looks great. It looks great. Anybody saying it looks like a Flash game, they don't know what they're talking about. Sorry. Sorry to tell you. But looking at this frame by frame, and this is hand drawn, by the way. Like, this isn't your standard digital art or anything like this. These are hand drawn graphics. That's another plus in my book, honestly. Like I said, and this is coming from a guy that I wanted pixels for Streets of Rage 4. Like, I'm a pixel junkie. I got a huge love for pixels. But this art style, looking at it this close, and doing this analysis and breakdown of the trailer, I like the art style. I'm liking the art style more and more. The more I see it, the more I like it. The designs for Axel and Blaze, I love them both. Axel had to grow on me a little bit. I was already digging the beard because, like I said, it was a Chuck Norris look. But I wasn't really a big fan of the overshirt and the waist jacket. Is like, well, pick one or the other. But to be honest with you, depending on what his story is like, it could be anything. It could mean anything. Like, anything could have been happening. So it's growing on me. But I really like Blaze's design. I liked it right from the get-go. The moment I saw it, I was like, yes, this is the Streets of Rage 4 design. I like it a little bit more than the design that I did for Project Neo. That one was more of a callback to Streets of Rage 1 and just kind of having a mixture of all 3 designs and, adding something new with the black skirt and flames at the bottom and stuff. But this, this design is really good too. It's simple, it's straight to the point, and it makes a great callback to pretty much everything Blaze has represented. She's just the original red-clad brunette vixen, kicking ass, simply put. So yeah, honestly, I think that's just the end of the video. That's it for this trailer analysis. Please subscribe, like, comment, share. Please share. We got a lot more stuff coming down the pipeline. I'm going to be still working on the first introductory podcast, letting you guys know what's going on with Streets of Rage Online as I rebuild it from the ground up. Sega Fan Jam is coming up November. I'm thinking about trying to talk to the devs and see if they would like to, if by that time, there is something more playable and presentable that they want to put out there for other people to play. If they would like to bring this Sega Fan Jam, if it's possible for them to do that, that would be nice to see them bring it to the event. Especially considering I'm going to have Streets of Rage panel. I'm also going to talk about the panel as well, and Streets of Rage 2 Mania Challenge, and all that good stuff. And then, I'm also going to get into more of my thoughts and hopes for this game as well, because there's a lot. There's a huge list, and that's going to be in this next podcast. I'm also going to do another video looking at some screenshots for the game, some press press kit stuff, information on that. So we're gonna have a look at the website and talk more Streets of Rage 4. It's gonna be a lot of Streets of Rage 4 content. I'm going to be doing some playthroughs of the original games, Bare Knuckle Mobile, the Game Gear and Master System ports, as well as as many of the collections as I can get and review. Let you guys know like every little detail about like which collection is a better collection to get. Like I said, to me the best. Well, I'll get into that later. I don't want to ramble on too much. Anyway, that's the end of the video. Thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe, like, share, comment. I said that before. Stay tuned for more Streets of Rage content. I will catch you guys later.